Glasses are expensive.
And we're live.
Glasses are expensive.
Glasses are expensive. Hello? Glasses. Yeah, we're good.
Did you pick up?
Yeah, no, we're good. Scooped deep poop. Speaking of that, you know Kanye West is fucking nuts?
Yes.
No, what do you mean?
Actually, clinically.
No, he needs, I read from Billboard, so reliable news source for news. For music. Reliable source for music that Kanye is trying to fly to Russia to meet with Vladimir Putin.
He's going to stop the war.
Can you imagine if he
What is he going to do with Vladimir Putin?
What if he just kills him? Like, he has, a psychotic break, sees Putin's face morph into Pete Davidson's,
Kanye West is 5'4".
Putin's 5'5".
Yeah, but Putin's also a trained killer.
But Putin's also 69 years old and probably has Parkinson's.
He's also a trained killer.
But Kanye's crazy.
Dude, crazy always wins, man. He's a crazy guy from Southside. They always win.
Yeah, Dude, Putin can't handle Chicago bros.
Dude, that's
there was a mixed martial arts fighter who's one of the top 7 known fighters in the world who got his house robbed, and of course he beats the shit out of the guy who's coming at him. But apparently the guy was he must have been on a PCP or something because he resists heavily enough to where the guy's mom who's living with him gives the guy a knife and says, "You know what you have to do."
Jesus.
And he still doesn't go down after being stabbed a couple times.
Yeah.
And as he's being taken away by the police, he's like, "Hey man, sorry about that." He's like, "What the fuck are you?"
Hey bro, that one's on me.
Did you hear Ukraine is releasing its prisoners with combat experience to fight against Russians?
Oh god.
It's violent criminals. Yes.
I saw a Berserk meme. It's like why lads smile, his weird dog smile.
Jesus, that's kind of spooky that they have to release a bunch of. No.
Oh, I actually don't even want to talk about the podcast.
The Wild arc is bad.
It's just voyeurism in Berserk. It's let me make a character that has that's so one dimensional. And
his one character or his one character trait is rape.
Ah!
Great.
Yeah, nice job, Murata.
Murata.
Don't you just hate it when that happens in stories? When a character has one trait.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say one trait, and it's.
It was rape.
Yeah. I hate that.
One-dimensional villains.
You remember 13 Reasons Why season 1? Bryce was that was his only character trait, and then they tried to humanize him later.
That's true.
Was his character trait?
I don't really think about that.
Was it still rape?
It was still rape. Yeah, no. His whole thing was he was a basketball player rapist who wasn't sorry.
Yeah.
And then later seasons, no. His dad said mean things to him.
Yes, basically.
Yeah.
That's how it was in the book too.
Damn it,
dude! I hate 13 Reasons Why. The Netflix
seen
version.
it.
I've never read the book, so
the book is a lot different. And she
Is
doesn't try to kill herself like she did in the movie. It's a lot different. And when they made the show, I was kind of pissed. I was like, "What? First of all, you're perpetuating suicide. Literally,
Yes.
the show glorifies it straight up."
Yeah, I got a lot of flack for that.
Yeah,
which it should have. Which it honestly should have.
The book was different. It still was not the best. I should not have read that when I was 15. You know, and it was kind of just. It was, the whole situation was not good.
I still think we shouldn't have read The Awakening at our age.
The fuck is The Awakening?
Do you guys know what The Awakening is?
By Chopin? By
Kate Chopin, yeah. Essentially, it's, there's a woman a Protestant woman in, I think, New Orleans with a husband. Husband's...
well-to-do. He's not, super stupid rich, but he's got, a good job. He's part of the aristocracy almost.
Yeah, and he's make sure his family's taken care of, and that's as much attention as he gives. He's not a terrible husband. He doesn't do anything bad. He's not a great one.
He gives gifts, but they're not really thought out.
Mm-hmm.
She loves painting and shit. And I think he gives her flowers and shit. She's like, I don't really like flowers,
Yeah.
but I'll say that I do because my husband won't care if I say otherwise, which is an assumption on her part, I believe.
Yeah. and they have like a pool boy or something, who's a younger Catholic guy, and in Catholic culture, flirting is much more common. It's just common to like flirt with people normally, and so he starts flirting with her, and she starts separating from this well-to-do Protestant lifestyle, starts going out with a girl's more, ignores her duties as a mother, just ignores the kids entirely, and then tries to sleep with this kid, this Catholic kid, and he goes, "Oh no, we just do that." And she says, "I see." And then she just starts walking out into, into the water, into Lake Pontchartrain, just starts swimming until she drowns. That's it. That's the end.
I thought it was the Gulf of
Or
Mexico.
the Gulf of Mexico, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
the flirting thing actually comes from France. Since France was so prominent in the Catholic Church for a long time, their court traditions, their courtly love affairs that influenced like King Arthur's tale, that's where that comes from.
Oui, oui.
Yeah.
Mon
The
ami.
French like to tease.
And they always have.
Yeah, they found it admirable to have like a courtly love. Like, yeah, don't actually fuck. That's bad. That's adultery. But just look like you want to fuck.
Yeah,
it's
that's really...
kind of like edgy, but
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Like,
Like society-wide edging.
Yeah.
like you know, King Arthur's.
No, that's the
wife
thing.
and-
It's all fun. Like the play is fun. Like the teasing, the
It's the chase.
Yeah,
Sometimes the
it's
chase is better than the catch.
Exactly.
Like King Arthur's.
Excitement.
Alright, dude.
Like King Arthur's wife Guinevere has a courtly love affair with Lancelot in a lot of different stories, and in some, depending on the era, it's romanticized and some it's villainized. But for the most part, it's always a bad thing because Lancelot's like King Arthur's ride or die, and he's like, I kind of want to fuck your wife though. He's like, what'd you say, Lancelot? Nothing.
Well, it's like happens to every man. You date a girl, she's great, and your best friend wants to have sex with her. It's really annoying.
Yeah, every time, dude.
Every time.
And then you offer to let your best friend hit, and he says, that's weird. And you feel
Then
weird.
you're the bad guy now.
Because you can
And
completely
you say, but it's my birthday.
Then you say, I'll consider it, and then you drive home, and then go to Waffle House.
I remember this the one story Emma told me. What?
Keep going.
Oh, about the
But
guy.
don't give away your roommate's secrets.
I don't think
He already said.
Gemma.
that's it. Podcast. Gonna just delete that clip right quick. I'll censor it in post production.
Nice.
Like we're not live.
So my friend, she was talking to this guy, and then he goes, "Have you ever had sex with a black person?" And yeah, this guy. I know this is a story she does not mind me repeating. And then she goes, "Yeah, I have. Why?" And then he goes,
Could you tell me about it?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, literally, could you tell me about it?" And then she was like, then he's like, Could you send me videos of you being fucked by like big black dicks?" And I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Terrifying, but she could make some money. She's an idiot for not doing
Don't
that.
kink shame. It's fine.
Okay, I think race-based kinks are
fetishism is not good.
You should.
I'm
should
gonna say
say
that's
that.
my hot take.
You should say that. Fetishizing essential characteristics is bad.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I have a scenario for y'all.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm reading this book called Love and Courage, and in it, like it's just a bunch of like philosophical excerpts basically, and then there was this one text that was talking about, it's not anything in like crazy, but it was talking about this woman he was watching in a bar, and she was with her husband, and they seemed like fine together, and then her husband goes to the bathroom, okay? And this man walks up to her at the bar, and he goes, "Do you want to go away with me, like, on my yacht or something?" And she just gets up and leaves and goes with him, and the husband comes back, and he looks all around for her, and she's just gone. And so what do y'all think about that? Like, just up and leaving after you've been married to someone for multiple years. Like, because if you think about it, like, we change as we age. Like, we're not the same person we are from 18 to now. you know.
True, a few people change into sociopaths.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that
it's
behaviors.
like, yeah, but we don't know
Okay,
her
hold
life. We don't know what he's done. We don't know what she's done. But at the same time, it's like, how do you justify just getting up and leaving? Did she feel stuck? Did she feel like this is my chance to become who I want to be? Is this my last chance to, like, live freely, you know? Or is it along the lines of, I don't love my husband, I'm gonna leave? So is it like...
So what are you asking us? Like, would we forgive her? Or?
Would you, how upset would you be? / what do you just think about the situation?
I would be horribly upset.
I think I'd be very upset.
That's grounds for murder.
because I also...
I don't know about that one, but...
Hey, police in 20 years, you might want to check out his... No, okay.
He met on Minecraft.
So my opinion is, like, I have a very progressive view of this. I think cheating is wrong. I think ghosting people is wrong. But I think it's not wrong if you just tell them beforehand. I'm talking like you can... If you just say, this is over, then you can
that's not ghosting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, ghosting's bad.
I think ghosting's bad. Like, as long as you do something not to ghost, like, if you're, like, about to, like, fuck a dude at a party and you're dating someone, but you just text your boyfriend beforehand, but, like, I'm leaving you, goodbye, I'm actually fine with that.
Like, you're shitty, but, like you didn't do anything.
Well, that's
like,
different, though. You're just dating. That's...
Okay, so if you're married for, like, years, you got that warrants a phone call, at least. Not just a text. You gotta, like, call, but... Bye, honey. I'm going on this guy's yacht.
I think that's more than a phone call. I mean, you got finances entangled.
Yeah,
you got equity.
Yeah.
You probably have kids. You got family matters. Like,
50%.
Like there's some big issues at play here that go outside of like the morals of romance. That's complicated.
Very financially weird.
Now, if I've been on like 3 dates with a girl and she's like, "Hey, not interested. I'm gonna go fuck this guy," I'd be like, "I'm sad. Cool. Fuck you," and then go about my life and forget about her. But if it's like my wife and I'm like, "Hey, babe, I gotta go take a piss. Be back later," and I learn that 3 weeks later after she left the bar that she's fucking some dude on a yacht, murder.
Okay.
I would be upset. Yeah.
I wouldn't murder. I would.
How would you feel being the person watching that whole scenario?
Giddy out of my
I
gourd.
would die. I'd have so much fun.
I would just be
God.
staring, gawking. I would probably go tell the guy, like, "Hey, man, I don't know if this is like an arranged thing, but I just saw this shit go down. Don't hit me.
Yeah.
And for your own safety, I don't know which direction they went."
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna go ignore you for the rest of the night as you sob.
I had that happen to me in a bathroom once. Let me explain. So it was like winter formal sophomore year, so 2020, and I was taking a piss, and this guy next to me was super drunk, and he wouldn't stop talking to me. He just goes out of nowhere, "I love this girl, man. She's all the way in California with some dick. I gotta kill him." Like instant,
okay.
like the drunk honesty of like, this man is planning a murder right now. Like, no, he was like, "I gotta kill him. I gotta fucking kill." Like, so like deranged. I
What'd you say?
I just said, "Don't kill him, man. It's not worth it." As I was trying to like get my like junk back in my suit because I
have to protect the junk.
because we're both dressed to the nines at this point. So imagine a guy in like a very well fitted tux, sloppily drunk, talking about wanting to kill his like the guy.
Did he give you his business card and talk about the lapels?
I should have pulled out my Bone White. What was it? That's Bone from American Psycho. Like
God. It's been too long.
Me and Luke watched it recently. Like before he left.
I was about to say, I'm assuming before he left.
It's like, whoa, cool with the anti-Semitic remarks.
How many of those characteristics do you see in people you know?
None. Like incels, like they pretend they're like Patrick Bateman or something, and they just have no friends.
I want to be rich enough
Yeah,
to do the
that's
credit
fair.
card thing. I think that'd be cool.
The credit card thing.
Oh, where they go to lunch and they all order the most expensive shit they can find, and then they all throw their credit cards in the bowl, and they're like, "Hey, waitress, pick a card."
That'd be cool.
That
That
actually
was
is
cool.
pretty
Like
good.
the fucking flex. Oh, I want that so bad. I want to be rich.
We need a Rat Pack where we all Wait, guys, let's all watch like.
Let's all go to McDonald's and throw
Yes.
It's like, hey babe, pick a card. Bill's $50, bro. Pick a card.
It's like, don't pick mine. I have $30.
Can someone get something not on the dollar menu?
Gross.
I don't think I can do this.
Bro, who got a combo?
What is
Who got the
got a
large
drink?
Sprite?
Who had a drink?
Is the most expensive thing at McDonald's like the triple? No, it's like the double quarter pounder. That's like the most expensive. It's like $8 for a sandwich.
I do not know. I haven't been to McDonald's in so long.
I don't go to McDonald's.
I go there at like
Principal.
1 in the morning, almost exclusively with like Sydney after we get finished studying. It's like a routine.
Okay, I have another scenario.
Okay.
Okay,
wait,
give
no,
it.
go
Yes,
ahead.
please. I do
Were
like
you
that
gonna say
scenario.
something?
I love scenarios.
Doesn't matter.
Okay,
They're more
so
important.
I watched this TikTok.
Okay.
Okay.
All good stories start with TikTok.
And I'm actually really proud of myself. Today was the first time it's in 2 or 3 days I've been on TikTok. That's a streak. Yeah, my brain feels healed, not smooth anymore.
Oh boy.
But one of
You
the
weren't
first,
drooling anymore.
yeah, exactly. One of the first TikToks I watched was about this barista, and he's worked at his coffee shop for an extended period of time. I think he said 2 to 3 years. And there's this couple that always comes in, and like they are married.
Okay.
They pay on the same card all the time. It's in both of their names, and they both have the rings. So he basically makes the assumption they're married. Well, one day the guy walks in, and he walks in with the lady that is not her, and like, yeah, that's what he's thinking. that's how it goes down. And he's like, this is weird. And then the guy pays, and he pays with a credit card that only has his name on it. And he was like, this is even stranger. And then they get all touchy-feely, and then they kiss, and then they leave. And then the next day, the wife and husband come in together. And so he, in his head, he's like, I don't know if I should tell her, because, I don't know, like, was it arranged? Like, is it arranged that they do this? Are they swingers or whatever? Or do they have an open relationship, even though they've been coming in together for 3 years, only them? You know, and then he's also like, and he paid with a card that didn't have both of their names on it, so I don't know I don't think it's a joint account, you know, so she can't see. And so, my question is, would you approach this lady who has been coming in with this man for 3 years and tell her? Or would you not?
If I'm an employee at a restaurant and I'm like not her friend, no, I would not. It seems like
Even though you know?
like if I knew her, if we were on like a first name basis, I'd probably tell her.
Okay, Carol.
Like if she if they were if we knew each other at least a little bit about each other, like even associates, I would tell her.
Then you would tell her because
Yeah.
they've been coming in for 3 years.
Yeah, so I guess I would.
But would
See,
you?
I think it would be so fucking funny to just be like, hey, who was that hot blonde you were with yesterday? Nice. Oh, did your car get fixed? Why are you guys quiet? I'm gonna go. And then just sit in the corner and
Watch the show. No, I don't think I would say anything.
with the cops on speed dial just in case.
I don't think I'd say
yeah.
anything at
Domestic
all.
violence.
Especially since I'm an employee. But in general, unless something's not, if I can't tell something's really deep, right? If someone's just going out with, let's say, you go out with someone for a coffee, you kiss. That was literally the end of it. That's the extent of the whole thing. It's not something you know. And even then, I think a lot of the times with stuff like that, having a third person tell either party ends up bad for everyone involved, including the third person. Like, say you're good friends with both of them, then obviously I think they're going to be more mad at each other that a third party mentioned it, instead of someone saying, hey, I was cheating on you, this is wrong, or hey, I'm seeing someone else, I like them more than you, I think our marriage should end. I think instead of forcing the confrontation, that is a better way to do it. And usually the third party will be the recipient of some anger, I think, as well. So that...
But are you willing to take that anger knowing that they're hurting another person? What if he came in multiple times after that with the same lady, but it's not his wife? Would you still not say anything?
I think they would still be more hurt overall. You know what I mean? Is that just dropping it like that will definitely hurt them more if they discuss it. Or if I don't feel any moral obligation to these people, because they are customers at the end of the day, then no. Because it doesn't... I don't feel like it's my choice to make whether this person knows that his husband is cheating on her or not. And I think that both of them would be happier either not knowing or keeping the other one in the dark.
I mean, yeah, they'd be happier because he did getting his dick wet.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I did make the joke, but yeah, I would probably keep quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if I'm not like, I think we all agree we're not friends with them. They're just customers. I'm not getting involved in that.
I think that I would get involved. I think that if he can't, I wouldn't get involved the first time because I'd be like, I don't know anything. Like, that's not my business. But if he kept coming in and using a card that only had his name on it, I'd do something along the lines of what you said, only like more subtle, like, oh, you were in here yesterday, weren't you? And just like that. So I don't know if I would be like, hey, your husband's cheating on you. But I think I would make a little comment.
Well, and
if it happened multiple times.
Right.
I'm not saying I would do it the first time.
Because I don't know. Let's say that I did try and say something. I don't know if I would do it when the wife is there as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I might bring it up to the guy and be like, "Hey, I don't want that shit in my place." So.
Okay.
If I'm the owner, if I'm not gonna play, I'm not gonna lose my job over this or get murdered because domestic violence is like it's so dangerous to get involved in, especially if you're an innocent third party. You have the biggest chance of being collateral damage.
That's the thing, right? I was also thinking with a third party is that it's unpredictable what'll happen for both parties, right? So if you're a third party that reveals it, neither one's prepared. If one of them or someone close that they can trust reveals it, then there's at least one person with a predictable response because that's the person revealing it, right? Or the person who's friends with the person or whatever. Out of the blue to both, I don't think would be a good option.
No, that's a very sticky situation.
I would, definitely try to get her alone or something if I felt the need to tell. I don't know. I would probably just rather not get involved.
It's hard. Okay. Y'all got any scenarios for me?
Yes, I do actually. I saw an insane Reddit post.
No,
I can tell. It's just cringe enough. I can tell it's real.
Okay.
Okay, here it is. I cheated on my polyamorous wife. When she found out, it fixed our relationship.
Wait, what?
Let me read it. For a while, my relationship with my wife had been going downhill. She came out as polyamorous 3+ years ago, and now has a second life partner. It was a very hard thing for me to accept, and I felt more and more like she wouldn't even care or notice if I left. It got to the point that the last time she visited her partner, I started talking to other women online. I ended up getting involved with someone, and after my wife returned home, I didn't even bother to hide it. She eventually found out, and she was pissed. She was mad, crying, screaming, and generally extremely hurt. This was honestly a shock to me. I was expecting a relief reaction that was finally over. This all led to so many good, honest conversations about our relationship. It turns out that we actually do have something special, something worth saving. We are now working on our relationship and making each other a priority. It's only been a little while. Things are looking up. I'm optimistic about the future for the first time in about a year. Edit for clarity. I agreed to the polyamorous relationship, but I did not communicate my desire to go explore other relationships before I did it, making it cheating. Communication and agreement beforehand is what makes polyamory ethical.
Ooh, that's a...
this man is that's not how that works. You can't say it's, in my opinion, you can't say it's okay for you to be polyamorous, but get mad when your partner does it.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, from what I understood, it's not her getting mad that he went out and had sex with another girl. It's that he didn't tell her about it beforehand.
Yes.
Because usually the way the polyamory works is that there is a base couple, and then they communicate with each other about their activities outside of that. So the communication's key. It's that he was doing it in secret that is the impetus for the hurt. We actually know a couple polyamorous people.
I'm so vanilla. This whole situation's alien to me. I'm like, you're. I'm sorry. Like, I don't get it.
I agree with Tristan, but also at the same time, first of all, from both sides, like, don't be a selfish bitch. If you get to fuck around with other people, he gets to. That's not. But also at the same time, he never communicated that he wanted to, and so.
And he also didn't communicate his discomfort with the situation.
Yeah, that's another thing. And like, how are you supposed to know that someone's uncomfortable if they don't tell you? Yeah, you can read on nonverbals and stuff, but at the same time, if they don't have those nonverbals. But I think that she is a little bit selfish in the fact that, like, she did get hurt whenever he was seeing someone else, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, she should have been a little hurt because he didn't express how he truly felt.
Yes,
But
but
it
he
sounds
also
like it was a continuous thing. It sounds like it was a one-time thing.
yeah, exactly. So he said he got involved with someone, but then he felt like he was neglected.
But did he say that to her?
That's the thing.
It sounds very immature.
It does sound very immature. Like, he didn't voice this. But at the same time, I just don't. It's like I'm not a conservative by any means, but like
You don't understand polyamory?
I don't understand how it leads to long-term stability.
A lot of the times, I don't think it does.
I think it's like
There's a lot of research to show that it does not.
the only time that this is anecdotal, so do not take this. It's not a peer-reviewed study, but the only people I know that are polyamorous are two different married couples, and both their marriages are failing, so they try to do polyamory, and it doesn't work. It's not working. Like my friend needs to get a divorce from her husband. Yes.
Yeah, we have a couple that we know that are polyamorous. They seem to be fine, but we don't really know the finer details.
They argue a lot. It started out with the woman being bisexual and having that part of herself not being fulfilled. So she's like, I'm going to get drunk and make out with this girl. And he's like, okay, I'll do that Monday then. And she's like, no, that's cheating. He's like, well, duh.
There's
So eventually they came to the agreement of like, okay, well, I can't always satisfy you. I'm not completely satisfied with this one aspect. I need both aspects.
okay.
So.
Yeah, that seems like a fair conversation to have. This is like a tangent, but something I've experienced, like in a lot of heterosexual relationships, the male partner won't consider it cheating if his female partner like does stuff with another girl.
I don't think that's true.
No, I know. I've seen it happen multiple times.
Honestly, no. We've actually discussed this a lot. I think that is more of a trope that men are taught is what men do.
Yeah,
and we've taken it for granted. I feel like a lot of men, like even men who are okay with like more open relationships, would find that cheating.
I would too. If my girlfriend had sex with another woman, I'd be like, "That's really cheating." I'd be like, "Did you love her?" That's cheating. But yeah, I knew, and you knew these girls too, who had boyfriends. I don't want to name names, obviously, just for privacy's sake, even though we're not like a major podcast. But like, I talked to her name. Say her name's Jay, and she's like, yeah, my boyfriend literally doesn't care if I do anything with the girl.
I met a girl like that here.
Yes.
And at a party, and she was just making out with this other girl up against a wall. And I asked my friend about it later. I was like, does her boyfriend know? Like, is that okay? And my friend was like, yeah, he knows. And I was like,
Not only are guys expected to be okay with it, we're expected to find it hot.
Yeah.
I do not find that attractive.
It's just not. Yeah, I don't get it either.
I don't see the appeal of lesbians. It's just two people making out. I'm sorry. Like, if the girls are hot, it's like, oh, it's two hot women. But like, the sexual attraction of other women is not appealing to me personally. No shame on those who like it.
Yeah, I don't get it. Where do I fit in this? I don't.
I don't.
But yeah, this goes back to the stoicism of males and the fact that we're so horny all the time we can't think straight. It's like, no, we have feelings too.
What you mean? People say, okay, sorry, I thought you were.
Yeah,
like,
no.
So like, what the fuck are you talking?
Societal.
I cry all
the societal pressure for guys to be this way. Like I know a guy whose literal marriage got broken because he was not okay with his wife having girlfriends. like
Should not
completely
have been
ruined
marriage in the
I
first
think it was like a
place.
5 or 6 year relationship.
Whoa.
Because she had this side of her where she was like, I need this to be a part of my life. You need to be okay with this. And he's like, I'm not. So
I will. I mean, like, I don't understand
See,
that.
those are the things you have to express before you get married.
well, she didn't know at that point because they met almost immediately after high school, dropped out of college, and had been basically like this for 4 or 5 years. Like, went through extreme poverty together, eventually came out on the other side with very good jobs, and like bought a house together and were fine. And then through those years, they had experimented with different things, particularly sexually, like threesomes and such. And the woman found out, like, oh, I like this a lot. I think she might be a closeted homosexual, but that's neither here nor there. The relationship ended because that was a breakdown. And the guy, our friend, he was very confused for a long time. He's like, am I the bad guy? We're like, no, you are fine. You have the right to... You have the right to your own opinions.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of the times, even if you do communicate it, if it's that far into it, then you're gonna... I mean, you like the person regardless, right? Those two madly in love with each other. Now that this has been brought up, you're starting to consider, I might not be comfortable with the other person doing this, but I really love them, and I really want to spend my life with the person that I've been spending my life with for the past 5 to 7 or whatever it was years.
Yeah,
Now,
see, that's the other hard part. Relationships are so freaking difficult because, like,
It's a job.
yeah.
So I think the moral of the story is don't have 3-ways with your wife and other women, or else she might realize she's gay.
Well, no.
Only have 2 male 3-ways. That way she's extra straight.
She's sitting in the corner.
To isolate it down to just that would be oversimplifying their relationship. They had a very complex separation, but one of the bigger impetuses was that polyamory aspect that he was not okay with.
I do hope it was obvious. I was kidding, but.
Of course. But by the time he finally agreed, like, okay, I'm willing to take that sacrifice, it was already over. She couldn't reconcile the fact, and honestly, for the better for both of them. I don't think he's realized that yet, but he'll come around.
Is it someone I know? Yes, I know it is, but yeah. Oof, pain.
Can't get enough.
Pain
I like
without love. I like it soft.
Gentle and a little bit of hand holding in the middle.
Imagine if you're hooking up with a girl for a one-night stand. She just pegs you out of nowhere.
I hate when that happens.
I know, right? Oh no! Surprise pegging.
That would be the worst.
God, that was the funniest shit I've ever heard. In my life.
That whole joke actually made me like Luke whole lot more. Like that was really fucking funny.
It was good. Followed by an hour of talking about getting chased by Pegbot. I still check my closets.
Okay, we have a viewer coming in. He asked, what are your thoughts on Ukraine? They're doing way better than the entire international community expected they would do.
Yeah, I would say
no. The U.S. thought we'd have.
They're doing better than we thought, but I will say it doesn't matter how Ukraine is doing. The only victory that they can win now is the moral victory, because Russia, through going in, has already won. Yeah. Right? Ukraine's never going to be part of NATO. If they become part of the EU, that would tank the euro. Because with all of the regulations, they'd have to peg it, or take the euro, or it would just mean nothing because they meet almost none of the requirements.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So,
do you want to put money on the NATO thing? Because I feel like there might be an exception.
If they they join NATO,
NATO would have to attack Russia.
They're already they've been attacked, right? That would promote. I think it's Article 5.
Article 5. Yeah. Article 4 is what they've invoked already, which is like.
Yeah.
Border territorial defense, where they're mustering everyone on the borders of all the NATO countries.
Yeah,
Finland and Sweden, I think, are definitely going to join now.
Yeah,
I don't see them not joining. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, man. I really think Ukraine might be able to I think Russia retreating would hinge on 2 things.
Vladimir.
I think Putin might literally have to die. But the wealthy class of Russia is not happy with him. Like,
Another class.
Class.
I don't think he knew how much of a social pushback he was going to get.
Yeah, well, that's why fascists can't
How
win.
did he not know? Like,
He's
had a great approval rating so far.
Well,
in Russia.
And it's
No. Like outside of Russia too, he has a very high approval rating in all aspects. Like a statistically significant approval rating.
It's very strange.
Keyword being had.
Yeah.
But and so far, I think it's because here's a crackpot theory with just hearsay.
Oh no.
People he's 69 years old in a country where the life expectancy is 71, and they're saying I have a friend who speaks Russian fluently. She's a native speaker, and she says based on his most recent speeches, it just doesn't sound right. Like the way he talks sounds like a person with cognitive abilities struggling to speak and slurring. But you don't know unless you're a native speaker because it's like Russian.
It's fair. I mean, people say the same thing about Joe Biden.
Yeah, Joe Biden. Yeah, he does have some sort of speech impediment or something. Because
sometimes I wish it was stronger, so he didn't say some of the shit he says.
But it's really funny if you go on YouTube and listen to one of his speeches. I think 1.5 speed, he sounds normal.
Listen to it on 1.5 speed, and then it's
that's
just
a 50%
person.
boost, brother.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
No, I know. But I pledge allegiance to Joe Biden. If he told me to kill my parents, I would. Hey kids, kill your neoliberal.
No, it's Joe Biden, not Mao.
So I think if Putin got knocked out of power somehow, and with the Russian economy the way it is, I think they would retreat or leave.
Yeah, I mean, there's no number two really. There's no one even comparable to Putin at the.
Who would it be? Some general probably.
It'd probably be Medvedev. He's.
I don't even know who that is.
I believe he's still the prime minister. He was the president in the middle of when Putin was president.
Oh
wait,
yeah.
Wait. So they have presidents and prime ministers?
Yes, most countries do.
A dual system.
In the U.S., we're the weird exception. The
Elected in career.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Because the president of...
I was always so confused because I was everyone has a prime minister, and some people also have presidents.
Germany has a chancellor and a president, and the president's the head of...
The president's head of state.
And chancellor's head of government, which is... And the president's more of a ceremonial thing.
So that's why any place that still uses the queen can't and won't have a president. Yeah, because the queen's the head of state.
Yeah. She could declare war.
She could.
What if she did? What if she's
that would be actually insane.
They can. The parliament can be no.
What if her last words were "kill blood"?
Guess we gotta.
Okay, Gruddy. Then
we'll do it for the corgis.
Do it for the disgusting corgis.
But I think I saw the breakdown. The one Russian ruble right now is worth less than 1/4 of a Roblox.
So I was talking to Zach about this. You do a little bit of... Don't you do crypto and stuff like that?
No.
I don't do any investing at all?
No, I had Bitcoin for 6 months and I sold it right before the crash. I made, I think, 30 cents because my investment was so low.
Nice. Still a profit.
Me and Zach were talking about this today, about whether it's a good idea to actually invest in the ruble.
Fuck you, Martin. Okay, continue.
He said she should take a politics class.
Ooh.
Is the money off?
Get wrecked. But we were actually discussing on whether it's a good idea to invest in ruble right now.
What do you think?
I think it might be a good idea depending on how long this conflict lasts.
Honestly,
how long do you think it'll last?
Okay.
I could see it ending within the year.
Yeah.
But I could also see it ending 3 years from now. It depends. It really depends on... They're already having peace negotiations. But if they lift the sanctions, the ruble's kind of in free fall right now, but it's not it's not plummeting per se. So the idea is you buy let's say you buy $3,000 worth of rubles. Mm-hmm. Right now, it's maybe at 1% of its original value. It goes back up to 100%. You just... How much money would you have? 300,000?
Yeah, well, it's not even it's not even done yet because Russia closed its stock markets until the 5th. So no trading's happening. So we're going to see, and it's free falling this much of a closed stock market.
Yeah.
So, but when the fifth opens up, it might not. It might be like a Weimar Republic situation where it's not even worth the paper it's printed on.
Yeah, they might also say you can't buy.
Yeah, that could be very well be a thing.
But he brought up a good point of how they handle free falling currency.
Yeah, usually if it becomes too bad, they'll revalue the currency. So they'll say like 1,000 rubles before this date are now worth 1 ruble from this date on. So it's still worth the same amount, but if you invested at that point, the economy is still the same. It's just on a stronger basis because you don't really have the inflation anymore. But you wouldn't make any money because you have.
Well, you wouldn't necessarily make the most profit because assumedly the revalued would still be at a lower value than the beginning ruble value.
Yeah,
like it wouldn't be as strong as the original ruble. So you could still make money.
Yeah. Just
not as much as you would if it went back to 100%.
So here's what I saw today, just a few minutes before the podcast started. So the Kiev Independent, it's like a Ukrainian newspaper, so biased towards Ukraine, obviously. They reported that that the Ukrainian Air Force, Army, and like other groups had destroyed a huge Russian convoy in Ukraine. I think north or south. No, either I know. I forgot. It was south of Kiev. Okay, let's say south of Kiev. I can't. I was trying to pull it up. They said they claimed they destroyed 800 vehicles, which sounds insane.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But I think they did.
Well, that's the thing with this war. I think I brought this up when we were talking earlier. Is that so many of these numbers are just so obviously made up because think about that, right? Think about that many vehicles destroyed. That means the Russians sent all of this in without air support.
Yeah.
Or anything like that, without anti-air anything.
There are videos of a I think a 7-mile long truck column.
Yeah.
That have been they're verified videos. So what I think happened was I thought it was fake when I saw it. Earlier this afternoon, a group associated with Anonymous said they had hacked Russia's spy satellite network and took it down. I was like, this is bullshit. But if they don't have satellites, they might not be able to pick up the aircraft or the people. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know, man. I think Ukraine might it's gonna be what, a week into it's been 5 days.
Yeah,
it's been 5
Jesus
days.
Christ. Isn't that weird?
Yes, it is very strange.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of claims coming out that seem more than unbiased or unbased.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, if you look at it, people are exclaiming about how, they have, rations that are dated, 7 years, or they have equipment that's so outdated it doesn't even have seats and stuff, and it's yeah, it's because they don't actually care. They don't want to conquer. They're not really trying to do anything. They already won. They're just doing this for posterity.
Killing time, that's the only argument that I could think of for stuff like that actually happening, is Russia is just trying to kill time, because the way that they would win endgame is not for the Russians to actually do anything, but the Donetsk and the Lugansk republics who declare themselves independent to be able to bolster themselves enough so that if Russia leaves, Ukraine still, fuck. That's what happened in Georgia.
Yeah.
Right? So South Ossetia and Abkhazia are still fighting the Georgians, but are pretty much their own thing now. They want that with those, because with that,
they get some sweet buffer states.
Exactly. And unless Ukraine says, fuck that, and kicks them out, then no NATO.
Yeah.
So, they could be true.
Biden is announcing a ban, this is breaking, ban on Russian aircraft from U.S. airspace.
Yeah.
Which falls in line with, the rest of the Western world.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, this is much more of a political war than it is a militaristic war.
I really do not think Putin anticipated the backlash he would get for this. Sources from high up in apparently we have some sort of spies or something in the military, because we knew the movements before they made them. Are saying he's very upset. He thought they would have Kiev in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the sheer amount of reports I'm getting firsthand from Ukraine. I'm a journalist. I have some Ukrainian friends. No, like, there are people in my friend's village that like they have 3 Russian tanks. Just they pulled them with tractors like that one video because they ran out of gas.
They ran out of gas.
Yeah, and then I think they also might have killed the guys in them, but I didn't want to press on that issue.
Yeah, the infrastructure is not there. The supply chains aren't there. And honestly, I think he might have been... I think it might be like a China situation where they're just telling him shit that he wants to hear. Where it's like, oh yeah, Ukraine loves Russia. Everybody in Ukraine loves Russia.
Yes. There's some captured Russian cell phones which showed like this guy talking to his mom.
So I thought I was on a drill.
They lied to us. They said they would greet us with flowers instead of being like burned alive in our tanks by homemade Molotov cocktails.
There's a very big difference between we like Russia and we want to be Russia.
Yeah.
Big difference. Very few people are like, I like Russia and I want them to invade my country. I think that's a very big disparity.
Putin has forever like ruined that whole like Ukrainian Russian brotherhood thing. They'll never like they'll never come back. People
are leaving their homes to escape this war. Yeah. It's gonna take generations for this shit to especially over there. Yeah, they have a blood feud type mentality.
He's inadvertently created like the largest sense of Ukrainian nationalism since the inception of the country. Like I have a friend who literally did not like her country until the war started, when she saw like everyone working together to protect their homes, and I'm like, oh,
it is very funny how they propagandized the president into being this Giga Chad.
Yeah, Zelensky.
Yeah, Zelensky.
I mean, he is. He could have left. He's like,
he could have left, and I think he's doing a very good job. He is definitely winning the people over, and he's done it in multiple countries that he's not even part of. But it is somewhat entertaining how somebody posted online today of there was a Twitter post of like, you guys gotta admit, even if you don't like to, women around the world, maybe women you know, have a crush on Zelensky.
Okay, that's that cringe liberal.
Yeah, but someone posted under that, it's like, can you liberals please stop making a war into a reality TV show? Real people are dying. Don't fucking do that.
Zelensky's awesome. No, I think he really is a Giga Chad, because he told Joe Biden, "I need ammo, not a ride," which is the most badass statement that you could. It's like
he's a politician.
Yes,
and he's a very good one. It seems he's taking this very well.
Yes,
I'm not saying he's bad or anything, or I'm not giving a stance on his.
But it's funny. Like 6 years ago, he played a piano with his dick on Ukrainian TV. Like he's a comedian. Mm-hmm. It's like if John Oliver. I think he's like the Ukrainian equivalent of John Oliver, roughly. Mm-hmm. You know who John Oliver is? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he became president, and now he's in the streets with like AK-47s trying to defend the capital city.
Mm-hmm. The people's man.
Yeah,
what a guy.
Servant of the people was the name. Would you bang Zelensky?
See, these are the conversations we should be having.
I don't even know what he looks like.
Let me show you.
I mean, by his character, he seems like a pretty good guy, but
I don't know. He just looks like
he seems like a Tinder lover.
How would you? I don't know. How did you describe him?
Oh no, he can play the piano with his
Ukrainian.
Yeah, he looks like a stereotypical. If I thought of someone who was Ukrainian,
if you put him in a tracksuit,
all he needs is a buzz cut man. Have you seen the
Axios reliable source claims Zelensky assassination plot foiled, Ukrainian authorities say.
Yeah, they're going to say that every time. They said it every day since then, that they've killed the Chechens. You know what happened 4 days in? The Chechens said, we're finally sending our troops over there to Russia. It's all over the place.
You see the Azov battalion soaking their bullets in pig fat before they fought the Chechens?
I was talking with Tristan about this beforehand, is that's one of those things that you don't hear about in the West, and I mean, not that it's too big of a deal. Is that like
it depends on the circles you run in?
Well,
I know what you're about to say.
Right. How what a guy! What a 3 foot tall guy, or that guy next to him is giant. But that was one of the reasons that Ukraine said he was invading, was the denazification of Ukraine.
Yeah.
And if you've noticed, you'd hear news articles about them every so often.
Yeah.
But you no longer hear that much about them, except for things like that.
It's because like the far right movements in Ukraine are essentially irrelevant. In their last political election, they got less than 2% of the vote. Ukraine's not like a Nazi country, and so far the only like National Guard battalion that's weird is the Azov battalion. That's the only one that's publicly weird. Like
yeah,
but Russia literally has like a battle group named after a Nazi officer that murder black people in Africa.
What group?
The Weimar group. Let me pull it up right quick. I saw it.
That sounds weird. Russia doesn't like the Nazis.
Vladimir Putin and Zelensky are the same height. They're both 5'7".
No, the KG that's 5'7" is the propaganda number
Yeah.
for Russia.
People are pretty certain that Putin is like 5'5".
Like,
Really?
let me pull up the picture of him standing next to Obama.
How tall is Obama?
Like 6 foot.
Yeah, Obama's pretty tall.
Oh, Obama. I miss him.
Don't we all?
I wish Obama was more of a war hawk.
I don't know if you knew this.
What?
Jesus Christ.
I wish he bombed Russians instead of marriage convoys.
Okay, yeah, here we go. This is like
That man's is tiny.
actual manlet.
Oh.
Except he, like, people say that, but they also forget.
Very tiny.
Literal killer.
Also, literally 69 years old.
Also, literally has murdered people with his bare hands.
Yeah.
Also,
He is a trained killer.
hasn't done that in forever. You lose practice after a while.
Have you
How do
seen
you
him
know he
move?
hasn't done it, dude?
I mean, yeah, but
He has horrible form in his home gym. I've watched the
What are you
workout.
talking
He has
about?
really bad form.
I would disagree. I would
It's
disagree.
no gym podcast. How's Vladimir Putin's form? How does he deadlift? What's his squat max?
Are you talking about like sparring or weightlifting?
No, he has like
I need to
working
know.
workout machines, and
Oh,
like
okay.
One rep max.
he was like doing it really weird. Like
First of all, workout machines are stupid.
like he was because he was like, oh, I'm trying to
Free
remember.
weights for life.
He was like doing this, like bobbing his head, and he was on the pec fly. Like, what are you doing?
Honestly, that might be the first time he's ever used machines.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it's a private Russian military contractor, the Wagner Group. But private Russian military contractors are just arms of the Kremlin. Just like how
Oh,
America,
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the equivalent to the what do you call it?
Black Forest?
something. Black, is that what it is?
Yeah, Black
It has like a
Forest.
paw or something.
Or no, Blackwater.
Blackwater.
You know the founder of Blackwater is like actually fucking insane. Like
Yes!
he believes in like the rapture and shit. Like, oh,
Yeah,
geez.
he's a fucking mercenary in modern times
Yeah.
for third world countries. Yeah, of course he's insane.
Yeah, there have been multiple videos showing them like murdering locals along convoy routes, apparently for sport.
Fuck. You remember that episode of the Boondocks where the mayor of the town hires a bunch of Blackwater mercenaries to play a dodgeball game?
That was so fun. I love that episode.
That is probably my favorite
That is
episode.
so funny. Shout out to the Boondocks, a very
Very good show.
cartoon. No one's ever heard of it before.
Also, Ukraine is set to issue war bonds for purchase, I think.
Ooh,
Yes. $30 a bond.
$30 a bond.
I want to buy some war bonds.
What's the return on a war bond, Dave?
I don't even fucking know. It's $30 I'll never see again. It's literally... if that $30 can buy one bullet that will go into the head of an 18-year-old Russian conscript, by God, that's $30 well spent.
Of a Russian conscript that is arguing with his mother on whether he's on a training regimen or not.
That has no idea what country he's in or what he's doing there.
Did you see that? They took a phone off of a dead guy, and like they were looking through his phone because obviously.
I would do the same thing.
And the last text he was sending was to his mother, and she's like, "Where are you?" And he's like, "I don't know." And she's like, "What do you mean you don't know?" And he's like, "I thought I was on a training thing. They're very mean here. They don't like us." And it's like, "Are you safe?" And he's like, "I don't think I'm safe."
Oof.
Oh my God.
That's sad.
And then it gets blown up by a javelin.
Yeah.
Damn.
And, you know, over 6,000... To be fair, over 6,000 Russians have been arrested in Russia for protesting.
Mm.
And apparently, the Russian sources, so not Ukraine, say over 5,500 Russian troops have died in Ukraine so far.
It's a lot.
That's almost as much as we lost in Iraq and Afghanistan in 10 years.
Yeah, that's 1,100 a day.
Yeah. Well, based like do you see those like big troop carriers getting shot down? Like those are like some like huge airplanes. because apparently Russia's just like, we don't need air superiority. We can just fly guys in.
Yeah, I don't. Like, I'm convinced that they really don't give a shit about this war. But then you see shit like that. It's like, even if you don't give a shit, you don't be stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. What's the end game?
I don't know. I think they do give a shit, but it's the same reason. Like, but it's like the higher up people that are like so detached from reality.
It might be a situation of like we always assume that Russia has a massive superiority in arms and military tactics compared to anyone else in the region, just because Cold War. But we also assume that kind of about China. My mom knows the wife of a former, I think he was German, fighter pilot, like a fairly high-ranking official in the German army, and retired, and actually got got contracted by the Chinese government to help them train their fighter pilots.
Yeah.
And his wife one day asked him, and this is all anecdotal, so
grain of salt.
But his wife,
you got me.
His wife asked him one day, "It's like, do you ever feel guilty about training soldiers when they could potentially turn against your country?" And apparently, he just looked at her with a deadpan expression and goes, "That'll never happen." She goes, "What do you mean? Do you think they won't do it?" He's like, "No, they would. They won't survive." It's like, what do you mean? He's like, "These people are idiots. They have no idea what they're doing. I literally cannot train them well enough." It's like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, they wouldn't even be able to fly regular biplanes.
What the fuck?
They can't fly these jets worth a damn.
Oh, I guess because joining the military in China is not like seems like a super. It's like for poor people basically. It's for
pretty much
poor and educated people, and you don't get a lot of social respect for it either.
No. Yeah, military is not what it used to be. Like, we are detached from it because ever since the World Wars, our army has been like a very distinct social class.
Yes,
that we have.
Even
if we don't really like it, we do somewhat respect our military class. Like, we don't respect our veterans, but like if someone walks in with a military suit on, you're automatically kind of like, okay,
yeah,
I noticed him. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that's true in other countries.
I have a question for y'all.
Yeah.
How does it? I don't know how since I am a woman, like I don't automatically think, oh, I could join the military if I wanted to.
Okay.
So for y'all, whenever y'all were making the decision to go to school, did that even cross your mind, like to go to the military / do you ever wish that you had gone to the military?
No to the latter part. I thought about it more after I got out of school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry.
I would say, because I honestly do think that a lot of Americans kind of look at it, not the same way as Chinese look at it. There's still a good amount of respect for the people in the military, but to enlist regularly is for not necessarily poor people, but people who don't really know where they're going yet. To go, if you know you're going through college, and to do it to pay off your college is one way. Or if you already have a plan to go to college, then to get really good stuff out of it afterwards, right? If you actually do consider it. So I think we all already had a plan to go. So it never crossed my mind either, really.
Yeah, like me and Zach, recently out of college, have both thought about officers training school because you make a lot of money as an officer, like more than I've seen in my entire career of working.
Like how much?
Starting pay, depending on what you do, can range anywhere from like 50 to 100,000.
Yeah. If you're
Starting.
a JAG officer, that's just like a military lawyer. The lowest anyone has ever paid start a JAG, I believe, is 80,000. The highest is 130.
I'm joining the military.
Chemists-
Sign me up.
Chemists also get that much.
Yeah, for
How
going
much of
through.
your life would you have to give up?
I think the 6-year contract.
For
4
officers, it's 4 years.
4 year,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't bad. Like,
Actually, I think it might be 6 years.
I think because I thought enlisted was. I thought the lowest enlisted you could do was like 2. Then you could renew for 4. Then
Well, the thing with enlisted is it's 2 years, 2 years on, and then 5-year reserve. For enlisted contracts, you don't get the reserve period for officership. So
you
I
just
believe it is either 4 or 5.
Yeah,
I think 6.
I did a lot of research, and I just I don't like not being in control of my own destiny, but
Yeah.
if I did want to join the Air Force, I could get a pretty cushy job with my ASVAB score. And if I went, if I went to the officers thing, I could get.
And if you stay in for the 6 years, you leave a colonel.
Yeah.
Because like most of the advancements up until that point, like I watched a recruiter video about it. It's like,
Y'all are fountains of knowledge. Y'all know so much about so many things.
We're
Well, thank
autistic.
I'm aware,
We're
but it's
interested
just
in
kind of
things.
insane to me. 'Cause,
but like, sorry,
every single subject I bring up, y'all know something about it.
try to stump us.
Please, like, I don't want to lecture.
Yeah, defeat us.
I can't. I don't think I can.
You can
Think of something.
I'll be thinking. My wheels
But
are
like,
turning.
until you reach colonel, it's pretty much a as you go.
Yeah,
progression.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
after colonel, you start having to play the politics game.
I went to 8th grade. I went to school in Air Force Base for 1 year, so like, I was just really.
Did you come away with a British accent?
Hello. Oh yes, I did. I went.
Because you lived in Britain for 6 months.
That was stupid. I fucking hate it when he does that. I called
I
him
hate
out.
it when he does that.
I called him out so much whenever he would do that around girls. I would say,
who?
"Why are you talking
Shut
like
up.
A
that?"
buddy of ours.
Shouts at the
What?
Tristan would fucking like.
yeah, we'll
he did
name
like this
him.
weird like fancy British accent. You lived in the UK for 6 months. You fuck.
Hello.
Yes.
It's like,
You
like
actually did it?
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
He's like, oh, I slipped back. I lived in Britain for a while, so.
Why does he get laid?
then we-
Ah!
And then,
6
so
months.
for weeks, we were like, oh, so like, you lived there for a long time? He's like, yeah, it's a pretty long time. And like, we just left it at that. And then one day we were like, so how long were you in Britain? He's like, oh, for like 6 months.
That's like if Elisa came back sounding like, "Hey y'all,
Well, shit.
well shit,
Hell, man.
I'm sweating like a greased up hog out here. Let's go get some some sauerkraut.
Let's go get some chitlins.
some chitlin. Oh wait, audience member, ask thoughts on Jordan Peterson.
Who asked that?
Martin.
I
Martin's the new mountain.
Okay. So Jordan Peterson,
Listen.
I am a fan of some of his stuff. I don't like it when he branches out into the political spectrum or into aspects that are not like psychologically based. I think he has a fair basis when it comes to men's psychology and how they should look at the workforce and life as a whole. I think it is very targeted towards one group in particular, and I understand why he's controversial. But in general, I don't think he's saying anything that's necessarily bad for people. His new stuff after he's had his incidences are disconcerting to those who are fans of him. But his old work, I think, has merit.
Yeah, I think the same thing as well. I think what he has written and what he used to talk about is still very applicable. But like Tristan was saying, it does appeal to a specific kind of person. And I think a lot of the people that it would appeal to, or people tangential to that, are the ones that are engaged in like the weird right-wing culture war, and so he got slowly drawn into that. You know, the people who like Ben Shapiro or
It's
Tangentially, Joe Rogan.
yeah,
Joe Rogan actually started me on the alt-right pipeline when I was a teenager. It's
Which is weird because he's not all right.
no, he's not. He's just a fucking idiot that platforms alt-right people.
Yeah.
And he doesn't push back on anything. Like, no, this is from.
Yeah.
He will debate them, but not hard enough.
He will only debate them when it comes to the shit he cares about, like weed. The only put
Which is fair. I mean,
It's
that's
fair.
how most people do it.
The only thing he pushed back about Steven Crowder on was his weed stance. But no, I'm saying this as a fan of Joe Rogan. So I'm not coming to. I've probably consumed hundreds of hours of his content, and it was better. But it was better. Golden Year was 2017. That was the best year of Joe Rogan. But then, but I could always kind of see through like the biases, but it did like make me more right wing watching his show. It was like, yeah, those stupid liberals and like blah 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 blah. It's like, you know, anti-trans people basically. I quickly got over that once I realized, like, I don't know, once I matured a bit, I guess.
I thought the only thing he was anti-trans was sports.
Sports, and he had very anti-trans advocates on.
Yeah, that's the thing. He
Yeah.
does provide a platform for people who I would personally disagree with, but he also does provide a platform for those in opposition opposition.
Yeah.
They just don't have as loud of a voice or as rabid of a fan base.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, he has gotten himself into the political spectrum when he should have kept his distance.
Well, he is one of the largest media figures in the world. He has like over his
Yes.
podcast. Like he beats Tucker Carlson out by viewership on nearly every. Because it got worse when the pandemic hit. It shifted him so far right because you could make the argument before 2020 he's firmly in the middle because he would like have like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Or then, like, for Christ's sake, he had Bernie Sanders on in 2020. Like, yeah, and then he, like, had an argument with the CEO of Whole Foods about socialism. Like, wow, Joe Rogan is pretty cool.
Yeah, he's gotten... 2020, in all aspects, has alt-righted these people who were predominantly... in the middle. Like,
yes.
It's made Elon Musk a right-wing figurehead. It's like, since fucking when? Like, I don't agree with everything that Elon Musk has to say, but I don't believe he's an alt-right figurehead.
I don't know. I think he is alt-right. He seems to have a breeding fetish.
Okay, well, we're not talking about his personal
With
life.
how
We're
many
talking about
children he
his
has,
outstanding
he
behavior.
wants the Musk bloodline to continue.
Well, his father's already handling that with his 17-year-old stepdaughter.
That is the weirdest part of that whole saga.
Yeah.
It's like, I raised that.
That is.
Ah!
I cultivated.
He did.
I cultivated that pussy.
He was literally there for her birth, and now he's married to her.
I do not enjoy this story.
Sorry. Okay. Weird for me. What the fuck did Elon Musk and Grimes talk about? He is 20 years her senior.
I don't think Grimes can talk about anything.
Like, she's an idiot. No, she's actually dumb. If you like Grimes, you're an idiot, and you have bad taste in music.
Well, getting back to something.
There goes that fan base.
No.
The Grime.
Dave, you were a fan of Jordan Peterson for a while, and it seems like you've kind of lost interest in him. What's your opinion on Jordan? I'm a very new fan of his. I would say I've come into... he's come into my mindset in the last, 6 months, maybe.
About this man.
Barnask, I had no relationship. I had a very estranged relationship with my father during my teenage years.
Oh.
So Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan
They were your
became weird male role models.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I got older and I started and I took one psychology class at Hendrix. Like, wait a minute, this is intro level psychology Jordan Peterson's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's just basic general advice that's good for everyone to follow. It's not that profound.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I used to like Jordan Peterson, but then with the whole when he is a Joe Rogan podcast, and maybe you start to go, wait, what? They were talking about incels, and Jordan Peterson was like, oh, we need culturally enforced monogamy to get rid of the incel problem. Like, what?
That was badly explained and out of context.
Yeah, and then as the years have gone on, and probably because of personal issues, he seems to have fallen from
Fallen from grace.
Yeah, fallen from grace.
Which I can see that.
I think the weird videos he makes of Ben Shapiro where he cries in restaurants in public or something. You haven't seen that one?
No.
Oh, you gotta watch that one.
Me.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's they're in a public and he's I think he's crying about personal responsibility, but it's genuine uncontrollable tears that makes me uncomfortable because it's not he's talking about his dead wife or something. It's responsibility. You have to become a monster, boyo.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone has little nuggets of truth. It's a sad day every time it happens, but sometimes me and Zach do find Ben Shapiro quotes where okay, yeah, he's kind of right. I don't like that.
Wait, was it the unlimited breadsticks at Olive Garden? That's literally scientifically impossible. That's my favorite Ben Shapiro quote.
God, he's so fucking weird. No, there's stuff that's his platform that sometimes we'll agree on. For the most part, we find it ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, Jordan Peterson, his older stuff, probably better left there. Don't go to the newer stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And one thing I will say about Jordan Peterson that I like is that most of anything that he says outside of psychology and statistics, he always prefaces with, I am not an expert. This is not an expert's opinion. This is not based on fact. These are my personal opinions based on my personal experiences.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of the one story he told. So he went on this diet where he only ate like beef. he only ate like beef and cider for like a month.
And now he only eats beef and water.
And then he's like, and he was telling Joe Rogan, he's like, yeah, I had
That's when
I had like a like some sort of like
autoimmune disease, his gingivitis.
yeah. No,
I
it's a story.
I know this.
Yeah, the story's like he had like
so he would only eat
yeah,
meat, and then he's telling Joe Rogan when he had cider.
Yeah,
that's
he had
what
cider.
it was, and
he
there
was
was
like,
sulfites in the cider.
And, he's
Go
like,
get it.
and then there had unending nightmares. I couldn't get out of bed because I'm like, what the fuck?
Sense of doom.
Yeah, an ending sense of doom, boy.
Stop saying boy.
This is how he talks.
Yeah.
Boy. It's like, I ate roast beef so much I gave myself psychosis. But I can't get the delivery right because he was talking like he had like been looking like shot and horrible. He's like, it was a horrible impending sense of doom from that cider.
And Joe Rogan just keeps saying cider.
He's like,
Cider, fucking cider.
Joe Rogan was like, I want cider. He's like,
I'm not gonna say it, but this guy's bad shit.
Then he goes, I want your blood work. Give me your blood work. Like,
I want to get your blood tested.
yeah, you know, he's like, I would test your blood.
Yeah.
Very funny.
I think that is a problem that people have with Jordan Peterson. I don't know if this is intentional that he's doing it or if he's just not thinking things through or rationalizing it wrong, but a lot of people I've heard say he's very insincere on like stuff like that obviously never happened, right? That would not give him a sense of impending doom. Now, withdrawal from benzoids might, but...
Hey, kids do not do benzos. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. But you can do Benadryl.
That's cool.
That's a good trip. Imagine drink a whole bottle of Benadryl, then you get to see demons in real life.
You'll
And then
have a sense of impending
doom.
All right, Martin. What's our next topic?
Okay, Marmar.
Unless Raven can think of something to stump us that
Please.
we don't know anything about.
Raven, I love you. Please talk more. I want to hear your beautiful voice in my ears.
I don't know.
The dice were too sharp.
I literally do not know what
You
y'all wouldn't have anything to talk
Euphoria.
I don't think any of us have watched Euphoria.
No, I mean the feeling of Euphoria.
Oh, I was like,
I've-
a show? Or?
I haven't felt happy in like 5 years.
I genetically can't feel happy.
I feel happy. I'm a happy person.
Yeah, he's a happy guy.
I'm alright.
You're only happy because you have a 3.14 QT pie.
3.1415.
Yeah.
QT pie.
Don't you
GF.
know that having a girlfriend solves all of your problems?
Yes, he finally gets it.
Is that right, Raven?
No, that's not right.
Raven, would you ever give a nice guy a chance? I'm sorry.
I feel bad for Zach some days because, like, I go through mood swings very regularly.
Sorry, it's okay, my tailbone.
Where I'll go through, like, depressive states and I'll go through manic phases. And he has to fucking just deal with it. And a lot of the time, he just smiles and nods. And I'm like, you're not fucking listening. And he's like, I'm not. I don't know how to react to this. I literally do not know what's going on. But he's always there
But he's always there.
to smile and nod.
To
I can do
smile.
that real good.
Well,
Anyway.
on the subject of Euphoria, the show.
Finally.
That's under some
Definitely
controversy.
don't know.
I saw the ending.
Don't tell me, because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the last one. I was
Do you see Zendaya naked?
No.
Not gonna watch it.
okay. Anyway.
Bro, she's 16.
Anyways,
Go ahead,
I
Raven,
think
I'll
that
listen.
it depicts depression, anxiety, eating disorders, alcoholism,
Drug abuse.
pretty well.
That's what I hear. I hear
In
it's
all
very well done.
honesty. Yeah, it is very well done. And I love that, like, all the people who actually are part of the cast always post on their, like, social medias, like, if you have any issues with any of this, please don't watch or be advised not
Like
to.
basically a trigger warning.
Yeah, a trigger warning, which I think is really, I don't know, responsible in terms of, like, a show, you know, because a lot of shows do not do that. And then you, like, watch it and you're like, oh, okay, cool, gotta stop that, gotta turn that off. So I think Euphoria does a really good job, and it's very pretty, like the way that the picture plays out.
Cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've only heard good things about it, other than, like, there's a few things, like, some people were up in arms about how much nudity there is in the show.
Okay, yeah, this season there seems to be a lot more than last season. Like,
Really?
Yeah, it's a lot more provocative this season than it was last season, in my opinion.
I've always heard that it had a lot of nudity in the beginning.
And
It
these characters
did,
are supposed
but this nudity is more sexualized.
Okay.
Than,
okay.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be in high school, right?
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, Maddie, she's 30. Like, in real life, she's 30 years old.
Well, Zendaya's 25.
Yeah.
I was no, I was just thinking, like, yeah, I think that I know the bare bones about Euphoria, but it seems like something that would happen. It seems like those people would exist more in college than in high school.
Well, yeah.
And I went to a really bad high school.
I don't know, all shows are kind of traumatized, so.
What?
Yeah, dramatized. Yeah, it's like an over exaggeration of everyday things.
Exactly, like,
What are you talking
extremely so. I'm talking about, like, I don't know. Yeah, it's supposed to be high school, but at the same time, like, be aware that it's not really
They're
high
not?
school.
They're not real?
Fuck you.
Wait, they're not real?
This 30-year-old is not still in high school.
I knew a dude that was fucking 20 and still in high school.
Ooh.
He
No
was
child left behind.
He was dumb.
Exactly.
He was dumb.
He was very dumb.
Yeah, I can
Dude,
imagine.
like, I miss high school. Only for one reason, because I was a fucking genius when I was there. I was like, they're like, he knows where America is on the map. He must be like, if the
He
apocalypse.
can name 3 countries.
Yeah, no, if the apocalypse happened, I could lead that tribe so well.
Tried.
I could be like, I could show them how to make a fire. They think I'm
You would be
fucking
their
God.
god.
Yeah, I would be there. It's like he knows how to read. Like literally, like me and Bobby were the smartest people in our school.
You should meet our local shaman, Dave.
Dave, it's like you.
He also studied the blade.
I studied the blade.
He has 2 katanas.
One for light and one for darkness.
Do you know what katana means in Japanese?
It means
Japanese sword.
Dude, all you have to do is lead him to that post-apocalyptic rule book that's in Georgia. You hear about that?
No.
So there's this random set of tablets, these stone tablets. No one knows how they got there, but someone bought the land.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
Out
my
of the
grandma
blue.
told me about this.
Yeah, they're so cool. And it has, I think it's 10 rules or something in
You know, I'll
10
pull,
languages?
I'll pull it up.
Yeah.
Is it Georgia the country or Georgia the state?
Georgia the state. It's in the U.S. It's really weird, but they have these rules in all of the big languages and ancient languages too for some reason, just in case there is some big apocalyptic event. And they have a lot of rules that are controversial, like keep the population below. I think it's 500 million, 500 million or less.
Okay, well, you want to do? I can.
Oh, yeah, you
I
go
can
ahead,
pull it
read
up.
them.
Okay,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna go ahead and screen share this for the folks at home. And okay, okay. So it says number 1: maintain humanity under 500. I'm an idiot. 500 million. I'm bad at reading numbers.
I also just said it out loud.
I'm fine.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance of nature. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness
There it is.
and diversity.
Yeah, that's called eugenics.
Unite humanity with a living new language. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Balance personal rights with social duties. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature.
All right. What do you guys feel about those rules?
This sounds like it was written by the Unabomber.
It really does. It's like, did Ted Krasinski pay for this? But okay, guide reproduction wisely.
Eugenics.
Eugenics, but also diversity.
Both.
Is this a religion?
Well, that's the thing, right?
It's
Is
Tablets that
the-
were found in Georgia. Like the state.
mhm.
Like when?
Like there's a
When were they found?
oh god.
No, they're like.
I can't remember.
Wait, okay. Do you want like a history? Okay.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay. In June 1979, a man using the pseudonym R.C. Christian approached the Elberton Granite Finishing Company on behalf. Okay, I'm just gonna read this and then summarize it.
Small group of loyal Americans.
and commissioned the structure. He said that the stones would function as a compass, a calendar, and a clock, and should be capable of withstanding catastrophic events. Joe Findlay of Elberton Granite assumed that Christian was a fucking nut and attempted to discourage him by providing a quote for the commission, which was several times higher than any project the company had previously taken. Explaining the guidestones would require additional tools and consultants. To Findlay's surprise, Christian accepted the quote. When arranging payment, Christian said that he represented a group which had been playing the guidestones for 20 years.
Yeah.
It
And
sounds
which
like
would remain anonymous.
It sounds like the guy who did the room. It sounds like Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah. They just had the money.
It's like, I want to buy a digital camera and an analog camera. Well, you want to rent them? No, I want to buy them.
Yeah.
Paramount doesn't even buy these things. I want them.
Are you talking, wait, sorry, I was still reading. You're talking about Tommy Wiseau, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, on March 22nd, 1980, the monument was unveiled before an audience variously described as 100 or 400 people. That's a pretty big gap.
Pretty big difference.
Yeah. Christian later transferred ownership of the land and the guidestones to Elbert County. In 2008, the stones were defaced with polyethylene paint and graffiti with slogans such as "Death to the New World Order."
The fuck?
I want to hear about what y'all think about Scientology.
Batshit insane.
Scientology? Fucking bullshit.
Oh, no, this is
it's
kinda
Star
reminding me of
Wars.
Scientology.
It does feel like
Why?
Scientology.
I don't know, just these random ass tablets, and Scientology is just random, and if you have enough money, then you're on top.
It was
basically.
literally created by a science fiction author.
Yeah.
And it was a bet he made with
And
his
an
friend.
Eagle Scout. He was an Eagle Scout too.
Yeah, he was also one of the only people who was one of 6 people who was qualified to pilot a battleship.
Oh, it's any
Aircraft carrier, too.
any vessel in the U.S.
Yeah.
He is allowed to. He was allowed to pilot.
Is he the Navy or something, I assume?
He had many skills.
He did a lot of shit.
And
He did everything.
And he's like, I want a cult.
But and that's the famous quote that he says: "If you want to make money, found a religion," and he did. We've been to. We actually went to a church of Scientology. Me and a group of friends for a tour, and they apparently did not expect people to actually come. And so they pulled out all of the stops to show us around, and we could only do it for like an hour, and we had to go somewhere. But they were showing us all of the stuff, and if you don't go in there with the mindset of this is batshit insane, it almost makes sense because they take out all the parts about like Xenu, the weird space stuff, and the weird Boeing aircraft that he came in on. They take out all of the donations. They take out all of the weird culty stuff, but like the new age spiritual stuff, if you don't know what you're doing, easily makes sense, which is scary. And we didn't stay for the whole time. We had to get out of there, but thankfully we did it because we thought it'd be interesting, be funny. But if we were actually curious, I think that at least one of us would have said, that's kind of a good idea.
That's weird.
And then you look into the rest of it and you go, oh shit.
Oh no.
This is literally Star Wars.
Well, it's because,
Right, because I would say they start you at this basic level and they add stuff onto it, so they know how much you should know about it before they need to give you some information that if you're at the bottom is whack.
the Xenu stuff is the final level.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a good Rogan podcast, like a celebrity woman's, like a celebrity, I forgot her name. It's like her mom was in it, she was in it.
Is the lady from King of Queens?
I don't think so.
Oh.
But anyway, you could be right. I don't even know her name. Bad plastic surgery, but that's the only thing I can identify her with. She was telling Rogan, yes, they told me I was like ready to go to the next level. Like I done like all the paperwork, paid all the money, and they set her down just like in a room and they told her like the Xenu stuff. And she's like, this was it. This was actually it. I thought it was a South Park joke. That you're telling me they were right. No, and then she left. She left the church. She's like, I wasted so much fucking money.
Yeah, no.
Also, I'm back on the studying the blade memes. While you were partying, I studied the blade. When you were having premarital sex, I mastered the blockchain. When you wasted your days at the gym in pursuit of vanity, I cultivated inner strength. And now that the world is on fire and the barbarians are at the gate, you have the audacity to come to me for help.
Mastering the blockchain.
I don't know what he's talking about, like crypto or like a weird katana move.
No, he means crypto,
It's
like
crypto.
NFTs and
The
shit.
blockchain.
Fucking stupid ass shit. You want to hear our opinions on NFTs? Fucking
I don't
stupid.
give a fuck about NFTs.
They're
and I don't
fucking
think other people should
stupid.
either.
Why you call it? I can't stop looking at him study the Blade memes now.
Oh, cringy
Damn
shit.
At least
Emma,
we never
welcome
turn
to the
out like that.
podcast.
Hi, I'm here.
What have you been doing?
I was at a long ass Senate meeting talking about everyone's stipends. We increased everyone's salary, and it was very good.
Nice.
And we voted a lot, and people argued.
Did you vote
Mostly a certain person who's on the ban list argued a lot about it being too much money, and everyone else was like, "It's literally not."
Oh, so
Why is it too much?
it was
money?
that
It just
time.
was too much at it was too much at once.
Wait, type the cunt's name. I want to see it.
Oh, you know who it is.
You know who it is. I know who it is, and I don't even know these people.
Think about one of the women we have on the band list.
I don't
Who
know what
is
the
on
band
Senate?
list.
I will.
What is the band list?
It's people that aren't
Ban
allowed
list
in the
is
apartment.
everyone who is
Oh!
not allowed.
Not
in the party.
B-A-N.
Yes. BANNED.
Understandable person to have on the band list.
Why? Why would she argue
It wasn't
against
even
being
that
paid
bad
more?
of an opinion, but she was like, if we pay these people this much more, we need to go back and increase a lot of other people's pay by this much as well, which we were like, yeah, we should. But then she was like, this is also just too much because it's going to increase every year, and this is like
Yeah, it's
going to
called...
be...
Pay should increase if we do.
Does
Yeah.
she not know how? Does she
No,
not know what
it's-
inflation is?
She was like, that once it's increasing this much every year, then it's going to go above this certain percent, which is like how much is good to spend of the activity fee on, because it comes from the activity fee.
Yeah.
On people's positions, but as of right now, it is a very low percent. And what we just voted on to increase it by a lot of money, it's like a little bit more than 10%.
Well,
Well-
before we get into anything too naughty, since people at the school listen to this,
Maybe.
Raven has been trying to think of something to stump me and the boys about, like, something we wouldn't know about. And so far,
You knew about
unsuccessful.
everything.
Well, like, she also didn't bring up much. She brought up
Yeah.
Scientology and Euphoria.
Okay.
Well, I knew y'all would know about Scientology. I just want to hear your
Of course.
Did
Yeah, of
and y'all know about Euphoria?
No.
I knew about the show. I haven't watched it, but I knew about the controversy surrounding it, about all the nudity
Oh, yes.
and the drugs and the glorifying drug abuse, supposedly.
Do drugs, kids.
But
I
yeah,
mean, like, the classic teen story is Romeo and Juliet, and they do drugs and die. And that's
well,
cool.
they do one drug,
Yeah.
and that drug kills them.
But it's also in 3 days, so how many drugs would they have done if it was over, like, a year of high school? A lot.
Yeah, it's a 17-year-old, a 13-year-old in 3 days.
It's classic
I don't see what's wrong
love
with
teen
that.
romance. Like, it's been this way for so long. Why change it?
For some reason, 12-year-old girls always come up in like every famous like historical like story. Like Virgin Mary, 12. Shit ton of ancient Chinese princesses, 12.
That's because that's when they start to bleed. That is when they are fertile.
Ah, yeah. That is a smart conclusion.
She's off the clock.
No.
She can take.
No.
She's
Redacted.
almost off the clock.
What's that Game of Thrones where like if she has her blood, she's good to go?
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, can you think of anything to stump us?
that you don't know about.
Please, God, I'm tired of hearing Tristan talk.
Well, fuck you.
I'm kidding. That was a joke.
I am a wealth of knowledge. I want to share it. I'll spend hours on YouTube rabbit holes for nothing.
Women's hair trends.
Okay, what you want to talk
Fuck
about?
You
Like,
got
What?
me.
Why do
We-
you
people?
want to talk about the bob, the pixie? You want to talk about ponytail, high ponytail?
No,
Like-
not even that. We're going to be talking about, are we into balayage? Are we into the money cut? Are we into chunky highlights, thin highlights? Are we into...
Chunky highlights like ombre.
That's different than ombre. I think we've found it, folks. That is
Because
very
Tristan
different
thinks he
from
knows a lot
ombre.
about women's hair, but
No,
really-
I honestly don't. I have no idea what she's talking about. But chunky sounds like
All I said was
ombre.
open up the box
Ombre.
that he has
Very
in the
interesting.
closet.
of women's scalps. Please, okay.
I did
Why
see-
are people shaving their heads so much? I don't get it. Why are women shaving their heads?
It's yellow.
Yeah, basically. It's
'Cause
like,
what?
I'm
YOLO.
young once, I'm gonna shave my head to say I shave my fucking head.
Because people don't understand that some people's heads look weird.
But like, I see it happening of us people around here, and it seems like one girl shaves her head, then immediately all her friends do the same thing, and it's really weird. I'm like, and culty, I'm like, why?
Well, it's a depression thing. It's like I have control over this.
What
That,
was
literally.
was it a
Yeah.
gunshot?
I didn't
It sounded like it came from back.
Like it sounded like a gunshot from far away. Well, maybe not even that.
I do not think it was gunshot, but
Yeah, I thought it was like
Just
the
wait,
cat
we'll get a
getting down
text.
from the
Regardless
table.
of what it sounds like, we're going to get a text that says gunshots reported.
Okay, so
Yes.
explain the hair thing.
The baldness.
Is it a trend?
I feel like whenever you feel like you've been pressured to, like, your looks should please boys, especially, you're like, one day might feel like, I don't like that. Why am I doing that? Or why do I feel pressured to be attractive? I'm gonna rebel.
Well-
Joke's on you. Some guys like that.
well, also I think
So I think it's a rebellion thing.
Not necessarily
it
just.
doesn't even have to be a rebellion thing. It can also be like if you have an attachment to your hair and you've had long hair your whole life and you're like,
Yeah,
I get unattached to this. This means nothing.
it's
Let
a
me
lot
just-
of factors.
Or
Okay.
you actually go insane and you're like,
Like Britney.
Red
Yeah,
Britney, and you're
The-
like, I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
I'm gonna
But
share
for
it.
Britney,
This
it
it
makes
has
sense
this,
too.
this is like a
New live stream.
it has to be like a social psychology psychological
so
thing because I know 3 women who have gone insane and shaved their heads like as the first thing they've done.
What do
Because
girls
of the
do in there?
attachment women have to their hair.
Yeah.
Wait, what the hell do men do when we go insane?
Well, the
You
fun
murder
fact.
Kill I think
You
kill,
murder
our,
people.
So
kill ourselves.
I
like,
talked about how I go. I sometimes go through phases of like very dark depression, like very high, basically mania. When I know I'm about to go into a dip when I think I'm gonna shave my head every time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Every
can
time.
you-
I've never done
What's
it.
the motivation?
The motivation, just I don't like hair. It's annoying. I don't like fixing it, and when it gets too long, it's annoying.
Yeah.
And the reason I don't, I would look like a thumb.
I'm glad you take that into account.
Well, I know what my grand uncle looked like,
I
and he
would look
looked
like a
like a
little
thumb.
boy if I shaved my head.
You would look like a little boy. A
You
little,
would.
if you put on a little newspaper cap, I could see it.
There's a girl I saw on Instagram that shaved her head, and like, it looked normal until I saw her in person because you can hit the angles on social media. She had like an insanely small head, and when it was shaved, it looked like it was like unbelievably small. It was very distracting how small her head was. And then when she let her hair grow back out, it was like a perfect like sphere around her head. I think the growing back out from shaved part is like a rough
It's
part.
so hard.
It's a rough part.
It
'Cause
was very difficult.
I think it just doesn't look good for a while. You gotta like accept it.
I had an undercut for a little bit.
What's an undercut?
That's where you shave like.
I'm asking a woman. What's an undercut?
Oh my
You
god.
shave like under your hair, like down here. You still have all this hair.
Okay, wait, whoa.
Let me tell you
It's
this.
a podcast.
You get,
Imagine you put your hair in a ponytail.
Oh, yeah, I
And you
forgot.
grab the bottom part below
Yeah,
where
the
your
Okay.
bottom
ponytail
part
sits.
below the ponytail.
Okay.
Shave that.
And you,
don't
shave
need it.
only that part.
Because an undercut means something different if you're a guy. Because a man, you know what a guy undercut is?
I have no idea.
It's a Nazi cut,
Oh yeah, okay.
flat sides and the top.
Aw.
Yeah.
So that's what I think of, and I imagined you with no sides, no back, just the top knot.
That is
Oh,
not
That's a
it.
good look.
Or like the Captain Marvel feminist haircut. It's like what Hollywood thinks feminist haircut.
Oh,
Like no hair on the side of the head, long hair down one side,
yeah.
and
Oh,
really
it's
roots.
symmetric?
I remember
Yeah.
that fad that was going around for a few years, where it's like
Oh, yeah,
one
that
side
thing.
shaved and then the rest was there. It's like
I didn't mind it.
I
Okay.
didn't mind it on some
Okay,
people.
I just typed in feminist haircut, and I want to see what.
There's a bunch of really different haircuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are feminist
I'll
hair.
look different on Thursday. I'm getting my hair done on Thursday.
I like this one. What would you call
Sounds
this
cute.
one? The audience can see it.
Kind of asymmetrical.
Asymmetrical. I dated a girl with hair like this for a bit. I do not like. This is a nightmare. This is actually a nightmare. Oh.
It would be different.
Did she
Yeah.
shave the front of her head and
She
screwing?
got that coconut head.
Yeah.
It looks like it's growing from the middle of her head.
You guys know Don't Look Up.
Don't look
The
up.
movie Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
I've never seen
Her
Don't Look.
bangs be
Oh.
like that. They were like,
that movie.
Don't look
Jennifer
up.
Lawrence's.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
Average.
don't remember
Okay,
that one.
normal
Give me a
bangs,
second. I need
normal
to look this up.
asymmetrical.
That sounds familiar.
Bangs. That. Yeah, I've seen that. This is a thing.
I don't like
I
that.
hate this look so much. What would you even call this?
Oh, I see what you mean.
It looks
Yes.
like they're Rock Lee from
See,
Naruto.
it's
She
the
got
same.
that,
It's the rock haircut.
She got that best declassified school survival. It's got coconut head.
Yeah, coconut head.
Oh my God.
That's a blast from the past.
What? No, this has to be Photoshop. Okay, bangs, asymmetrical bangs. Okay, messy bangs. Okay, I feel like if you do bangs as a woman, I'm telling women how to dress now. Look, I don't like it when women have bangs, but their hair is kind of like their hair's like thin in the front. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love those bangs.
I don't
like
Like
bangs.
some small amount of bangs right here, not like a big piece of
See,
bang.
I know I like it. It's like one chunk because it looks like a solid like hair.
You gotta get that
I think
Matilda.
What?
That's my least favorite. What
You
you're
don't
talking
like
about.
you don't like the wall of hair on
I
your
personally
forehead.
don't. I understand why it might be attractive, but I don't like it. I like the smaller ones.
You like wispy bangs.
Yeah.
I don't want wispy bangs.
David likes thick bangs.
Wispy bangs look oily to me, and I don't like oily.
They don't. Okay, that's interesting.
But you like mustaches.
I don't like mustache.
No,
That's
come
it.
to my
We're-
side.
That's it. We're going
No,
to the.
I had to
that-
bring it up.
that's
It's
it.
funny.
That's it. We're doing kink discourse. Have you guys been here for this conversation? I'm pretty sure you have.
Yeah.
I was here for this, and I
Okay.
told him about it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was
so
informed.
I was telling Emma that
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was telling Emma that I think the little like peach fuzz that all women have is cute, not fetish level. Like I don't get an erection from looking at women's peach fuzz, but I just think it's cute.
Do you
It's like a
think
little
cute
lip.
on males?
No, I'm not attracted to men.
I would
But
say
you're
that-
attracted.
I would say that most guys
that.
don't have peach fuzz on their lips; they have mustaches.
I'd say
Or
my
like-
brother got some
Or like
fuzz
Zach's,
on his
or like
mustache.
Zach's eternal 5 o'clock shadow.
Shaved
just,
this morning.
He shaved before he came
This
over.
morning?
he
It
shaved
looks
it.
so good.
That's how most guys are. I'm not like that, but
Yeah.
yeah,
You should grow a beard, Zach.
he does.
I can.
I
very
want
The most
easily.
beautiful Turkish beards.
No, it's just that we have to
oh.
wear masks all day at work, and
Oh,
my
yeah.
hair is so thick. It's like it's like a giant, beautiful Turkish beard. But it's so thick that I'll get like
I wanna
ingrown
see you
hairs.
with a beard.
I get ingrown hairs with a mask.
Do you use oil?
I do.
He uses Turkish beard oil.
I
Okay,
use
For
olive
his
oil.
beautiful long Turkish beard.
Olive oil. Okay.
and I'm
Makes you
apparently
smell nice.
Yeah.
weird because I like the hair on women's faces.
It was just the way you said it in the time.
See,
Was it on
that's
the
the
last
thing,
pod?
right? Oh, was it?
Was it on the last pod or was that in our
No,
own
no, that was
conversation?
in our own conversation.
Anyways, the way he said it was just strange because instead of being like, I don't know, the way it came across in that moment was just like, I am attracted to women's mustaches, and I just was disturbed by
And
that.
you
I
literally
think
said
is
that made
fair.
me uncomfortable. I'm
It,
like,
it did.
oh my
It
God.
made my skin crawl.
Yeah, I could see it as a
Wait, that was last podcast.
a
we did this.
very
How many of those mints have you eaten throughout this
I
podcast?
fucking love
he's a
Altoid.
minty boy. I could.
Minty boy.
I'm ready to kiss somebody after this podcast.
Don't
No.
look at me, babe.
Looking at
Anyway,
Zach.
I think that in general, that's a kind of odd thing to say. Now,
Yeah.
for like someone specific who has a little peach fuzz and they're like, oh, that's cute. That's fine. That's how I would think of it. But I don't think I would go after someone for their peach fuzz, Dave.
I would not.
And I don't think you would
No,
either.
it's like a
So-
No, the peach fuzz is the factor.
It's like, look at oh, there's this fucking idiot who I hate, who I know who's no longer in this country. Thank God, 'cause he's a fucking piece of shit.
Yes.
He
Damn
thought
list.
he thought women shaved their faces or something.
Some do.
To not have like a beard.
Yeah, you thought every woman did that.
Some
Because
No.
wait, I'm just gonna go. You know what? I'm not gonna name drop, but I want to tell the story. It's hard to tell without naming names. So remember when like Yana had to? We're muted, by the way. Remember when Yana had to like go to?
We're muted on a podcast. No one can hear any of this.
Oh, I put it on YouTube. So it's Ukrainian news now.
Okay.
For like I got a 30-second story. So Yana had to go to Chicago for Model UN, and Jack was in Model UN too, and he was there, and he was talking about how like hairy her face was, and she's like, and he's like, oh, you haven't shaved yet? And
Okay,
she's
wait,
like,
let's tell this part now that you said the names on the pod.
okay, cool.
Continue.
Okay, pause, and we're back. Okay, and so we already know the names are, and so the guy asked the girl, you haven't shaved your face yet? And it's looking kind of hairy, and she's like, what? I don't shave my face. And that was it. He thought all women shaved their faces.
So yeah, he thought it was growing back, and he's
Yeah.
like, that's weird. It's coming back. You need to shave again.
Exactly.
That's really awkward.
He also said when men get horny, they can't control themselves, and it's not their fault.
Oh
So-
my god. Oh
Yeah,
my
We
god.
so-
had
Oh
to
my
take
god.
that. We had to take the test.
Yeah.
Do you guys have to take the test when you guys came into
yeah,
school?
Yeah.
That was one of the questions.
Like the
to take this.
sexual.
It's called Choices 102.
Yeah. When you get to
I
Hendrix,
remember
it's like,
taking
Mm.
I think it was mainly for men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because women don't rape people as much as men do.
Mostly.
No, mostly like
Like
Mhm.
very high mostly.
like I think 90% of
Oh,
rapists are men, if not higher. So like,
Indeed.
If
But
you think you can't control yourself when you're horny, what the fuck?
you should
well,
not.
that's the thing is we got this test and it's a true or false test. And one of the questions was there was a point of sexual excitement that men reach after which they cannot control themselves. True or false?
False.
And we see this, and this is like introduction to colleges, is how to
Like week one.
Yeah, it's you're at college. It's a sexual place very often. How to conduct yourself properly, and this is like the first thing that we see, and it's just so funny and stupid to us because it's just nonsense, and that I don't. It's still to this day I remember it. But I'm thinking, like, people actually believe
Yeah,
this.
no, it's funny. But then you meet guys who are like, yeah, once you get horny, you can't control
Which is
yourself.
fucking stupid. I was with a girl once. It was the only time I've ever come close to like having intercourse. And I'm sorry. I was on top of her and we were feeling each other up and I asked to go further and she said no, and I could tell by her intonation I was like, oh, she's uncomfortable. I literally did a push up so hard that I came to a kneeling position. I was like, okay, what's wrong? Like full came out of it. Just did not even feel anything anymore. I was like, what did I do wrong? Why are you uncomfortable? Go fix this.
Yeah.
Like, you can fucking stop.
Yeah, I think this guy was just a sociopath.
Yeah.
Probably. Major piece of shit. But
I still want to ragdoll him.
yes.
Like Thor going to Lone Loki.
I can't wait till I go to Europe this summer. I might be able to throw him in like some sort of ocean
Okay.
In Minecraft.
in Minecraft. No, because like,
Minecraft.
or just like take him to Poland where the laws don't exist.
That is true. Laws do not exist.
So yeah, I shave my
Anyway.
beard once a week.
You do?
Yeah.
Like, what do you use? Like a lady razor or like?
Lady
Yeah,
razors are
I
actually
only
better than
use
guy razors.
ladies' products for everything in my life. I've never used a man's product.
Don't they suck?
I use women's clothes, women's laptops,
I also
women's everything.
I use women's underwear, but
I
that's
use
about it.
the women's electricity and water in this apartment. You
Oh,
use
the women's toolbox.
Yes.
The pink toolbox.
I use the pink.
You have a
tool.
toolbox?
What's wrong with pink?
Yes.
I've needed tools, and you're like, I don't have a
Man.
toolbox.
It's because it's the women's toolbox.
And
You
you're
are
a
not
man.
welcome to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also the man who takes the trash out.
Yes.
All of
Do
this
you?
is fake.
I take out the women's trash.
You do not take out the. I had to take out the
It's
women's
not the
trash.
trash that comes from women. It's the women's trash. It's
That was,
different.
yeah, that was some woman-generated trash right
No,
there.
no. Women generated trash is still men's trash. There's a different thing called women's trash. It's different.
See, this is
I used to
such
take out
a-
women's trash when I was a janitor.
Yeah. I used to take black pills, and Emma's giving me more. Stop.
It's a very raw feeling.
All
What?
right. It's 8:46.
All right.
It's Mardi Gras today.
Happy Mardi
Happy
Gras,
Mardi Gras.
Catholics.
And others.
Here, you can listen to MSG.
You're spiking the mic. No.
Stop fat shaming days of the week. It's inappropriate.
Wait, Raven, why'd you say you said that's so weird? Like before, like when I was talking about taking the trash out.
Oh, the whole situation you and Emma have with the whole.
I'm not doing that. I don't
See,
want to.
it's just kind of crazy to. Feminism.
I give them tasks, and David completes
Alright.
them, and
I
I
know.
do tasks.
I know.
No,
but
it's very
the first
50-50,
time-
'cause,
No,
like-
I know, but the first time I ever heard it, it did not sound 50-50. That's why.
Did it sound like
Because it's more like 70-30. I can, if I want to tell you, like, take the trash out, it's like,
fair?
it's
That-
not like
it's more than-
weird, like, oh, David is doing everything because I don't want
Oh no, I've
Yeah,
never.
see, that's what it sounded
I
like
have
when I first.
the only thing
perceived
I
the
do that you do
situation.
not want to do is exclusively the trash
Yeah. And fixing things with your
and
toolbox.
fixing things, which like gives me a primal sense of pride when I can fix something.
That dope meme.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's the power process.
Power process. Hey, also, Glory to Ukraine.